Evangelista DeWeaver, and I'm so pleased to welcome CARFA and the delegates from the region for a 2-day workshop on St. Martin to talk about cruise ship safety, vessel safety. I'm so excited that we have been tapped as host country, and I really look forward to having everyone here over the 2 days to be able to exchange ideas on how we can promote a safer cruise industry for our visitors and also safeguarding the health of our residents. I'm so grateful again to CARFA, to everyone that's here for this event. And I hope that one of the outcomes of the 2-day conference is a way for us to synchronize and harmonize across the region to promote health and safety in the tourism product. Thank you.
We're here at the CARFA conference where we are actually talking about Caribbean Regional Surveillance System. And one thing that we want to say is that we are looking forward for this partnership with the CARFA, because at the end of the day, seeing that we have went through COVID and we had a reactive system, we're glad to know that we have now a system where we no longer have to be reactive, but actually proactive when it comes to ensuring the health safety of our visitors and our population. CARFA has designed a system where we can be more proactive and more reactive, and also more proactive than reactive, and also to ensure that our persons, our frontline workers, that all the different stakeholders, that once an event happens, especially mass events happen, that we are prepared for it and know exactly how to deal with it. So I'm glad that the conference is being launched here in St. Martin, considering that we also last year had a test run of the system itself, and it was very successful. We're glad that the other Caribbean region also joined us. You can see probably inside the room that we have some of the most popular destination of the Caribbean region that is actually here to also find out about the system, to see how all of us can work together as a Caribbean region to remain not only the leader when it comes to tourism destination, but also the leader when it comes to tourism destination and safety. So thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for also taking part. We are ready, we are prepared. So for those of you that are thinking about taking a vacation somewhere, St. Martin is ready for you.
It is both an honor and a necessity that I stand before you today, not just as Minister of Tourism of St. Martin, but as a firm advocate for what I believe is a vital alliance for our future: the strategic partnership between health and tourism. Tourism is, as you all know, our lifeblood. Our culture, our people, and our economy all revolve around a dynamic movement of people across our borders. And we're not alone. The Caribbean remains, for the most, the tourism-dependent region in the world. And in 2024, we welcome, as my colleague minister just mentioned, 33 million cruise tourism. That's an 11% increase from the previous year. Early 2025 figures already show a 6% rise, a clear sign that the Caribbean destination is thriving. I don't know if you're seeing it, but we're seeing it here in St. Martin. But let's be clear, with growth comes vulnerability. The very mobility that powers our economies can also bring significant health risks. And we've seen this with COVID-19, and we've seen this with the norovirus and many others. And these are not just public health challenges, these are tourism challenges, economic challenges, and even national security challenges. And when a public health crisis arises, the first sector to feel this impact is, let me hear you, tourism. Flights get canceled, cruise ships are rerouted, borders close, and hotel rooms go empty, and people, unfortunately, lose jobs. So let me be blunt. A weak public health system puts tourism at risk. Conversely, a strong data-driven health system protects our visitors, our citizens, and our economy. This is why we must no longer view health and tourism as separate silos. Instead, we must adopt what CARFA has wisely advocated for an integrated approach. Tourism and health are one. Our collaboration with the Caribbean Public Health Agency began in earnest in October 2024, and I am proud to say that St. Martin has embraced this partnership fully. In March of this year, CARFA conducted a successful technical visit to St. Martin, helping to build capacity for mass gathering surveillance and laying the foundation for the Tourism and Health Program, THP, on the island. So what did we accomplish so far? 20 stakeholders from across the health, tourism, and 20 stakeholders from across health, tourism, carnival, and security sectors were sensitized to the importance of surveillance risk. Carnival, our biggest event yet. By the way, it's next year we're celebrating 55 years, 3 weeks of Carnival. Welcome to join us, end of April, May. Can't help it, tourism hat. Our health teams have trained, and this is important to know, so you're safe, right? So our health teams are trained and equipped with Tourism and Health Information System, the THIS, and the Caribbean Vessel Surveillance Service, so CVSS. We're also provided with vital equipment, tablets, and reports that will support real-time monitoring response during these events. So you're safe in St. Martin. Let me emphasize that these are not academic exercises. These are protocol, boots-on-the-ground tools that are now embedded in St. Martin's public health and tourism safety infrastructure. The Caribbean Vessel Surveillance System, the CVSS, is one of the most forward-thinking tools we have in our arsenal today. Imagine this: a cruise ship heading to St. Martin reports a cluster of gastrointestinal illnesses on board. So through CVSS, our health authorities are alerted in real time, and even before the ship docks, we can assess, prepare, and act, ensuring that the safety of our passengers and crews and our local populations are safe. This is science. This is not science fiction. This is literally science in action, and St. Martin is proud to be part of that innovation. This regional workshop we are gathered at today is a testament of what is possible when health and tourism leaders come together and shared goals, open dialogues, and mutual respect. We're not just learning, we're shaping the future and regional health security. And the message is clear: pandemic preparedness is no longer a health issue alone. It is an economic and tourism imperative. So looking forward, what should we do to sustain the progress? We must institutionalize the use of systems like the THIS and the CVSS within our national frameworks, continued cross-sector training, information sharing, ensuring all actions, public and private, are engaged. We must leverage data and to guide decision-making, response efforts, and visitor safety protocols. Prioritize early warning systems and mass gatherings, which are central to our cultural and economic identity. And lastly, we must advocate at the regional level for harmonized standards and increased investments in health tourism convergence. So let me end by saying this: the visitors who choose St. Martin does not just do it for the beaches and our cuisine, which she just mentioned is impeccable, and our festivals, which I hope you will join us next year. They come for a sense of safety, the warmth of our welcome, of course, and the professionalism of our systems. Tourism is a promise we make to the world. And with CARFA's partnership, and with our support, and with your support, and with our shared vision, we can keep the promise of safety, sustainability, and be successful at it. So let tourism and health walk hand in hand for St. Martin and for the Caribbean and for the generations to come. I thank you.
All right, my name is Mohammed Shibrini. I'm a Senior Technical Advisor at the Caribbean Public Health Agency. And we are here in St. Martin to launch the new Caribbean Vessel Surveillance System, which is part of the CARFA Regional Tourism and Health Program. It's a new innovative project looking at improving public health surveillance for cruise ship passengers to stop any infectious disease outbreaks that might be coming through cruise ships to our islands, and be able to provide first-line alert system to our to ministries of public health in the Caribbean, to be able to detect and respond in a timely manner to any threats that might be from an infectious disease point of view. The workshop brings together health and tourism sectors across the Caribbean to ensure collaboration between the two sectors. Since the Caribbean is a tourism-dependent region, it's very important for health to work hands in hands in tourism to ensure the public health safety of our population, but also the economic prosperity of the Caribbean region.
I am Dr. Lisa Indar, the Executive Director of CAFA, the Caribbean Public Health Agency. We are excited to be in St. Martin today because we are talking about healthier, safer tourism. We all know the Caribbean is the most tourism-dependent region in the world. We also know, though, that with tourism, you may also have increases in illnesses through travel. So why are we here? We are here to promote healthier, safer tourism by introducing tools so that we can monitor and respond to events that could negatively impact tourism. In particular, we are talking about cruise ship surveillance because we are the #1 cruise ship destination. Today, in particular, we are meeting with chief medical officers and other health persons from 14 countries, where we would look at a digitalized way to be able to monitor illnesses, threats, as well as regional minimum guidelines so we can protect the region. It's important to protect not just the health of our local population, but our visitors, because more than 3 times the amount of people who actually live here actually visit. The other thing we want to do is tomorrow we meet with our cruise lines so that we as a region will speak as a whole to what should be done from a health and tourism perspective to collectively protect the region. So through digitalized systems and through guidelines, together with all the other aspects of the tourism and health system and capacity building, we hope that we are able to protect the region as a whole, to protect our tourism product and to elevate it into healthier, safer tourism.
Are you SXM insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXM is cardless. Request your My SXM account today and enter the virtual office of SXM. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXM, yeah. Your social and health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, Com programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
The Department of Social Development will be hosting a conference, Aging with Dignity, on the 29th and the 30th of September. To tell us more about that is Ms. Sherilyn Bryson and Mrs. Elencia Boseman Baptist.
Yes. The Department of Social Development will be hosting a 2 days working conference. And it's a working conference, and not just a conference, on the 29th of September and the 30th of September. Now, the purpose of the conference is based on the information from our census, we've recognized the growing trends of aging on St. Martin. We've also been working on several activities related to aging prior to now, so that has brought us to this stage. And we've decided to have the conference to be able to discuss and to validate a baseline study that is being conducted at the moment with the assistance of the Pan American Health Organization, right? During the conference, that research will be validated, and additional to that, we will also have different topics that will be discussed. So some of the topics that will be discussed would be financial security. So how can I secure my finances for future in my aging as I age?
Yeah.
Yes. So we are all in that segment. We are also looking at estate planning and will. We are having speakers from the Department of VROMI. We are having from the Department of ECYS, nurse, so the NEPA through a nurse who will be doing continuous education, so lifelong learning. And we have some conversational panels. And the conversational panels would be two sections. We have one with looking at dignity and respect, right? Persons who will be sitting on that panel will be persons coming from older persons.
Right.
And you have persons from the White and Yellow Cross, which is the agency that deals predominantly with our seniors at that stage in their life. And we're going to have somebody from the prosecutor's office on that panel. And the reason for that being is that person that we are going to be also looking at the topic of elder abuse. And is there any recourse of action, for example, for someone who's being abused? So the prosecutor's office is going to help us to look at it from that perspective. The panel, the other conversational panel would be the panel on accessibility and infrastructure, right? That's where VROMI, the Ministry of VROMI comes in. So we talk about interministerial collaboration. And we have the Ministry of VROMI who would be on that panel. We also have somebody from the advocacy groups for seniors on that panel. And do you remember?
It was
a therapist. A therapist also from the White and Yellow. Yes, from the White and Yellow Cross.
Okay.
Yes.
Miss Bryson, I understand that it's not open to the public.
Correct. It's a 2-day working conference with stakeholders that have been selected and invited. And the reasons being is that these are the individuals that deal with elderly in one way or the other. And these are also decision makers. So think of policy advisors within the organization of government, so from different ministries, not just our own. Think of outside institutions such as SZV, financial institutions.
Yes, like the bank, you're looking at White and Yellow Cross, you're looking at the activity groups, the senior activity groups, you're looking at the advocacy groups for seniors, you're looking at home care service persons for seniors. So
pension associations.
All of those that we decided to add in as stakeholders, persons to discuss the issue related to growing older. And if we are building a vision, we need the input of all of those stakeholders to be able to build this aging vision for St. Martin.
And specifically seniors themselves. So you can't have a conversation about them without including them too as well. So
but a limited amount of seniors.
Correct. Those that are attached to activity groups.
Yes.
We've also invited various activity groups to then reach out to some of their members, and they've also received the invitation.
Okay. And that's on the 29th?
That's on Monday the 29th.
And what's happening on the 30th?
Same thing.
Okay. All right.
2 days.
All right. Ladies, thank you so much.
Yeah,
and I look forward to having you back.
Yes.
Bissessa dismissed speculation that Trinidad and Tobago could be drawn into any military conflict with Venezuela. Speaking to reporters, she responded to Venezuela Vice President Delcy Rodriguez, warning TNT not to provoke that country.
I will dare to do what I have to do to keep the people of Trinidad and Tobago safe, and that is my priority. I've said TNT first. That is my priority. I have no intention, we've had no discussions of invading Venezuela, of stepping onto Venezuelan soil. Nothing of the sort is happening.
With the United States in Caribbean waters, Mrs. Posad Bissessa continues to welcome them, noting that it's not the first time they're here.
If that can help us stem the criminality, the trafficking, the narco-trafficking, the human trafficking, and the pain and suffering that brings to the people here, then yes, we welcome them and look forward to their cooperation with us.
However, she insisted that Trinidad and Tobago will do what is necessary if its neighbor Guyana is in trouble.
A lot of this fear-mongering, there have been no discussions with the U.S. or anyone else. However, I repeat, should Venezuela invade Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago will definitely step forward in defense of our cousins or brothers and sisters in the CARICOM.
The Prime Minister pointed out that CARICOM's response has been slowed by recent elections in member states, but insisted unity remains the goal.
I think we've had a little bit of a setback given the two elections taking place in the CARICOM and the chairman of the CARICOM. We congratulate Prime Minister Holness, of course, and President Irfan. Their elections would have put I'm not casting any blame here, I'm just saying it might have dampened a cohesive response from the entire CARICOM. But we have always had differences, and that's another thing that is a false narrative. The CARICOM has always had differences, and that's why we say we are sovereign, but at the same time, we speak with one voice. So there are issues that will have differences of opinion.
She also addressed criticism that certain CARICOM countries are fractured over the Venezuela issue.
St. Vincent and Grenadines has always had a different kind of opinion to other members of the CARICOM. That is not to say that we are fractured. On this matter, or the Venice matter, and the Americans in our waters, CARICOM is already fractured. Several members went off to a meeting, the ALBA meeting. Trinidad is not a member of that regional body, ALBA, and made comments and gave statements long before I even stepped onto the plate. So we will have differences, but I think at the end we'll adhere together.
However, the Prime Minister said TNT remains committed to the CARICOM and to its CARICOM neighbours, noting that this country will work with them in every way possible. Sonolala, TTT News.
Are you SXV insured? Do you have a valid medical insurance status? SXV is cardless. Request your My SXV account today and enter the virtual office of SXV. Go to sxv.sx and sign up now.
SXV, yeah, your social health insurances.
24/7 TV programming on www.stmartinmediacenter.com, SXM Daily News, PBS NewsHour, Now You Know, comm programs, documentary, entertainment, sports events, Saturday children's hours, religion programs, and movies. Click on SXM TV broadcast to see your favorite programs.
of the journey ahead of us. It is our alignment with our goals, our alignment with our partners, our alignment with the international system that will determine the speed of our success, the agility of our country, and the ability of this country to be competitive and to win in every aspect of national life. That is what we are building. A country that is strong, agile, a country in which our human capital will be driven by knowledge, science, innovation, technology, and in which the service delivery and service orientation of the government is the center of the work we do. This government innovation, is not about power, technology, and in which the service delivery and service orientation of the government is the center of the work we do. This government is not about power, and I want to make that very clear. Power, you will find yourself out of the job very quickly. This government is the exercise of responsibility, service, humility, no egos. With great clarity, some of the expectations of our people, and we intend every Guyanese and fulfill the expectations of our people. And their expectations are to live a life of dignity, a life in safety, a life of honor, a life in which prosperity reaches every home, a life in which our elders can retire in dignity, in comfort, in which your communities are clean, you have sanitation services, a life in which you feel alive with high quality and standard of living, world-class education, world-class health services. The journey ahead is going to be accelerated. You're seeing that we at the Office of the President, we intend to lead by example. Many people have asked whether we have planned our break. The only break is work. In favor of and the only reward is more work. We've already started this journey. Every second counts. Every minute counts. And we have to make it count in favor of the people.